Hi, sorry for the slight delay here. I was having a little bit of technical difficulties. So for this evening's class, we're looking at doing some yin. So we are going to be opening up our hips and releasing our spine. So if you watched earlier today, we did something very similar. A 1-2 split. This is a little bit of a different practice. So if you are brand new to yin, considerations that I'd ask you to keep in your back pocket. One of these considerations would be the amount of time in which you hold poses for. It will increase sensations over an extended period of time. So let's actually dive into that a little bit. So with yin practice, we're holding stretched positions for an extended period of time in order to release the fascial adhesions within the body. So what happens, for example, if we're working at a desk all day, our shoulders are going to start to slouch forward. So our body all of a sudden says, hey, you want to stay in position? Let's create fascial adhesions to keep the shoulders in place. So it kind of acts a little bit like a cast, like a little helper that's sometimes not so helpful. So as well, these fascial adhesions can be created anywhere throughout the body where you feel a little bit of tightness. So today we're going to look at releasing the full length of the spine, and we're also going to look at releasing the hips. So for today's practice, you're going to need a blanket and a towel. So any full body length towel works. And your pillow. And a scarf. So the scarf can be easily replaced with a strap or a belt. So whichever one works better for you, work with that. All right, so first what we're going to do, so we're going to make our bolster. So you're going to take your pillow and you're going to fold your pillow in half. You're going to take your towel and you're going to lay your towel out lengthwise. And then you're going to roll your pillow up just like a burrito. Roll it nice and tight. And then, folks, you have a bolster. Okay? So, taking your bolster off to one side and your pillow, rather not your pillow, your bolster and your blanket. We're going to start today's class with a short meditation, and then we're going to get to our first pose. So before we move into our meditation, the biggest consideration to have when doing this practice is to know that our bodies are magnificent. When I say that, I mean we can move through many different levels of sensations, no matter how intense. The only sensations that we need to pull away from are sharp and acute sensations. So when there's a sensation that comes on immediately, like at the snap of your fingers, super quick, you then come out of the pose very mindfully and carefully and change out of that pose. Any and all other sensations, I highly encourage that you sit with it, breathe, always go back to the breath, and allow yourself to stay still. Give your body full permission to open up, release, let go, and surrender. You'll notice sooner than later, the universal law of impermanence. All things are impermanent. Our sensations, our thoughts, everything on this planet is impermanent within this universe. If we give ourselves this openness throughout the body, releasing all of these adhesions and creating a sense of freedom within us on a physical level and a mental level as well. Please keep this in mind during our meditation, as it's practically exactly the same thing. Okay? Let's close our eyes and find a comfortable seat. Sliding the shoulders back, aligning them with the heart. Reaching through the crown of your head, lengthening the spine. And begin to gently take your full awareness to the touch of the breath within the area of inside of the nostrils and above the upper lip. So for the purpose of today's class, we will continue this meditative state throughout the entire length of the class, continuously bringing your awareness back to the breath, no matter where your mind goes, no matter what your sensations feel like, except for sharp and acute. Allow yourself to be as is in the present moment, from moment to moment. Give your body permission to open up, releasing every single resistance within the body and within the mind. Whenever you feel that your thoughts wander away, softly, gently, compassionately, bring your awareness back to the breath. Soften. Staying within the field of the mind, within the field of sensation and breath. Let's take our hands together, rub them vigorously together, creating heat through friction. Once your hands get toasty and warm, cup the hands over the eyes, inhaling the warmth of the touch. Exhaling the hands away from the face, a gentle transition from darkness to light. All right, so for the first position of today's practice is going to be a reclined supported butterfly pose. So for this, we were going to need our blanket and our bolster. So we're going to take our bolster first. We're going to lay the bolster lengthwise at the top of your mat. And then you're going to take your blanket that we're going to use as a pillow. We're going to place that at the top of your mat. So your blanket, you can fold it to be as high or as low as you'd like to support your head. And then you're going to take your sit bones to the base, the end of the bolster on the earth. You're going to guide the pads of the feet together and allow the knees to become wide here. So this is butterfly pose. And then we're going to release the entire length of the spine back down onto your bolster, allowing only the head to be caught by your blanket. Begin to open up your arms and close your eyes. Let's begin with progressive muscle relaxation. Beginning to take your awareness down to the base of the feet. Noticing all of the sensations there. Begin to send your exhalations through the feet and progressively taking your awareness up through the ankles, shins, calves, and knees. Exhaling your breath into every single muscle, softening every tissue, every fiber of your being. Disengage, surrender to gravity, and let go. Bringing your awareness up through the inner and outer thighs, the glutes, and the hips. Allow the legs to become weighted, gravitating heavily to the earth, opening up your hips, your root chakra, beginning to release the lower spine, the lumbar spine. Descending the full weight of the pelvic bowl to the earth, and beginning to release every single muscle along the spine, from the tailbone to the base of the skull. Allowing every muscle surrounding each vertebra to soften and melt away from the discs. Once you come to the valley of the shoulders, guide your awareness towards the shoulders and allow the shoulders to fall heavily towards the earth. Allow them to drape over either side of the bolster, allowing your arms to sink into the earth. Opening your heart, opening your chest. We will be staying here for roughly another 3 minutes. And as you may have started to notice, the sensations begin to increase. They rise as time passes. As the sensations increase in intensity, notice what the body wants to do. Notice if the muscles want to re-engage and hold on. Use your breath like medicine and exhale the breath in through the areas where you would like to release. Law of nature is impermanence. As sensations rise, they too shall pass. Stay with the breath and stay with sensations. Notice if any part of the body wants to twitch or move. Allow yourself to stay in stillness, in the seat of the observer, in a space where there's no reactions, only observation. Breathe. Let's take the last 3 breaths here. Inhaling through the nostrils, exhaling through an open mouth. Slowly begin to shift your hands over to the outskirts of the thighs. And then you're going to shift the legs back in together. And from here, you're going to roll off the bolster towards the right side. Take 1 breath here. And as you inhale, come all the way back up into an upright position. Very slowly. From here, we're just going to release the spine. You can take the feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, gently allow yourself to come into a forward fold. Release the weight of the head. And then gently as you inhale, guide the crown of the head back up towards the sky. Okay, so for the next pose, we're going to be doing a couple of twists. So we're going to leave our bolster and our blanket exactly where they are. You're going to shift your hip as close as you can to the edge of your bolster. And then you have a couple of options here. You can either keep your legs stacked on top of each other, or you can shift the left leg back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn the front of our body over towards the bolster, and then we're going to start to descend the belly and the chest over your bolster. Take your left or your right cheek down onto your blanket. So if you take the left cheek down to the blanket, this twist will be a little bit more sensational. If it's too much sensation for the spine, you can rest the right cheek down onto the mat. Take a big breath here to settle. Allow the mind to stay within sensations throughout the framework of the body and the breath. Guiding the full breath from the crown of the head down the entire length of the spine, nourishing the spine with your breath. Take the last 3 breaths in this pose, inhaling through the nostrils, exhaling through the mouth. The base of the last exhalation, planting the hands firmly on the earth. Inhale to rise. And as you exhale, switch over towards the left hip. You're going to want to make sure that the legs are in exactly the same position that they were on the other side, so either on top of each other or stacked. And then you're going to take your gaze towards your bolster, hands on either side. And then you're going to start to descend the belly and the chest over the bolster and take either the left cheek or the right cheek down onto your blanket. Take a deep breath here, allowing the body to settle, surrendering the body to gravity. Stay with the breath and stay with sensations. Take the last 3 breaths now. At the base of the final exhalation, shifting the hands back towards the earth. Inhale to rise. And then exhale to turn yourself around. Okay, so for the next pose, we are going to go into a forward fold in butterfly pose. So coming to butterfly pose once again, the base of the feet are going to be together. Now, if you'd like to, you can wrap your feet into your scarf to hold them together. So this forward fold is going to look a little bit different for everyone, depending on how far you'd like to come into your fold. Please keep in mind that we are going to stay here for a significant period of time. So it is important that you go only at 10% tension to begin with, so that you're able to manage staying within that space, allowing the fascial adhesions to release themselves. So if you'd like to come in a very soft, gentle forward fold, become a unicorn. Take your bolster onto one edge of your mat, and then you're going to rest your head on the top part of the bolster, like so. Release your hands off to either sides and allow the forehead to rest on your bolster, allowing the spine to lengthen. If you would like to come deeper into your forward fold, you can rest your bolster over your feet and you take your blanket. You can fold your blanket or even roll it as high as you'd like to catch your forehead, like so. You can play around with the height if you'd like to, depending on how low you'd like to go. Okay. So find a spot where you can breathe in and witness and observe sensation for about 5 minutes. Allow the legs to become heavy as 1,000 pounds, gravitating towards the earth, allowing the inner hips to open. Allow the torso, arms, neck, and head to feel heavy and weighted. Allow the back, the entire length of the spine to open. Stay with the breath and stay with sensation. Begin to guide the breath through the crown of the head, down the entire length of the spine, exhaling the breath at the hips. We're almost there. Just a few moments left. Begin to take deeper breaths. Begin by taking the last 3 breaths in this pose. Deep, strong inhalations and deep exhalations. Begin to walk the hands back towards the body, taking the body back upright and lifting the crown of the head back up towards the sky. All right, so let's take our little blanket, pillow, towards the front of the mat. You're going to take your bolster off to one side of your mat to use in our next pose. And you're going to unwind the feet if you've bound them. And you're going to help your legs back in together. Perfect. Okay, so from here, we're going to shift ourselves over to bridge pose. We're not going into bridge just yet. We're going to go supported bridge, so we're not going to actually hold anything to engage. Let's release the entire length of the spine back to the earth while your head is fully supported on your blanket. From here, you're going to press down through the base of the feet. Inhale to lift the hips. You're going to slide your bolster right under your hips. So for some of us, this extension within the spine might be sufficient. If you'd like to increase the level of sensation, begin to walk your feet forward. Take a couple of big breaths here, sighing out your exhalations. 3 in total. Surrender the full weight of the body to the earth, allowing the front of the body to open up towards the open skies, while releasing the entire length of the spine. Take a couple more breaths here. And then begin to bend the knees, plant the feet. Then from here, we're going to begin to extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. And allow the left leg to follow. Relaxing the feet. And noticing the breath. Notice all of the sensations throughout the body. Notice the coolness of the feet. Notice if they tingle. Notice the sensations throughout the entire length of the legs. Staying within the field of sensation and breath. Last breath here. And now we are coming to our peak pose. On your inhalation, you're going to press the heels of the feet up towards the ceiling, tuck the toes towards the earth. On your exhalation, begin to open your legs wide as you can. And then you're going to rotate the toes towards the earth. Take one breath here. And then begin to release the engagement of the feet and allow the legs to hang in space. Send your exhalations in through your hips, allowing the hips to open up, release, and let go. If you feel the sensations rise, begin to take deeper breaths, especially your exhalations. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently guide your hands to the outskirts of the legs and slowly bring the legs back to center. Take the knees into the chest and give yourself a big hug here. Begin to take your feet back down to the earth. Press to the feet. Inhale to lift the hips. You're going to slide your bolster all the way down so that it catches your knees. So this is where we come into our final resting space, Shavasana, with the knees supported, allowing the entire spine of the length of the spine to rest upon the earth comfortably. Closing your eyes, and taking the biggest, deepest breath that you can take. Inhale to fill the lungs to their fullest capacity. And allow a deep sigh on your exhalation. Continuing to witness the sensations throughout your body and your breath. Om Asatom Asat Gamaya Tamasom Ajotri Gamaha Mrityurma Mritam Gamaya Om Asatom Asat Gamaya Tamasom Ajotri Gamaha Prityurma Mritam Gamaya Om Asatom Asat Gamaya Tamasom Ajotri Gamaha Mrityurma Mritam Gamaya. Guiding your left hand over your heart, guiding your right hand over the belly. Noticing the weight of the hands and the sensations of the touch. Closing today's practice with 3 sounds of M, with your lips sealed. A low guttural hum on your exhalation, sending the vibrations throughout the entire body, down to the tips of the toes, to the crown of the head. Let us inhale now to close today's practice. Inhaling. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May every single cell of your entire being be filled with love, light, abundance, bliss, and freedom. May all beings be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Namaste. If you liked today's class, Yin will happen again every week until further notice, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I hope that you enjoyed today's class. Enjoy your open hips and your spine. If you've never done this practice before, please be mindful not to do any load bearing, anything on your hips and on your hips and on your back. So stay away from jumping jacks. Definitely don't go for a run. Just hang out and chill for the next 4 to 6 hours. Relax, heal, and be.